Hello from Salt Lake City, Utah. Today is Tuesday, June 29th at 12:14 p.m. Mountain Time. You can see it's 93 degrees Fahrenheit. And today we're going to do a little bit of a walking tour of part of downtown Salt Lake City. You can see this thing here. They still have some landmarks around the city that are from when the Olympics were hosted here in the year 2002. In the past couple trips when I've been here, I get off at this bus stop, and I always like seeing that because it tells you the temperature, and it's just a nice little Olympic landmark. So everywhere you look in downtown Salt Lake City, you're going to be surrounded by the nice mountains. And we're in the center of this street, which the transit system runs on. So you have to wait when you're crossing. Oh, there's no cars coming. So I will go on this instance. Down there at the end is the gateway, and it also says Union Pacific Building. I think it used to be an old train station. There's also a mall down there. And if I have time on perhaps a different day, I'll explore them all. When I looked at it a couple years ago, it was very nice looking. It was just didn't have that high of an occupancy rate. And again, that's a perspective of where I just came from over there. Here's the Vivint Smart Home Arena, the home of the Utah Jazz. So it's always a nice shot to look at. Unfortunately for Jazz fans, even though I believe they were the first seed, they did not get to the Western Conference Finals. They were eliminated. Let's go ahead and cross the street here. That thing was a little bit muffled. If my video happens to go haywire while I'm shooting it, it's because I have my power bank cable attached to it, and if I tug on it a little bit too hard at times, it'll throw my gimbal off balance. So if the video suddenly goes sideways, that's the reason why. So about 3 blocks away is going to be Temple Square, and that's a very huge area. It's like several city blocks dedicated to the Mormon religion. There's like so many buildings, and kind of unfortunately, when I was researching ahead of this trip, a lot of the buildings have been and currently are still under construction. So I was reading that like one of the buildings just finally opened, I think this past week, and maybe another one will be opening next week. So I hope I can at least walk on the outside plaza area, but based on some of the pictures I saw online, it's not going to look as pretty as it normally would. I should probably show more of the mountains there. Oh, see, there goes the gimbal. Let me try this for a second. I'm going to detach my cord, and let's see how far we can get on the power. If I notice the battery getting low, then I'll reconnect it, but otherwise this will have much better stability for balance reasons. But yeah, there's Temple Square up ahead, which when it's not being renovated, it's definitely a sight to see. A couple of years ago, I saw it for the first time, 2018, when there was a conference here. And then 2019, I believe I also went up to the observation deck, which gives you a nice bird's eye view of the entire downtown area. In the past, when I've gotten off the train, sometimes I'll just grab a green bike right away. I do have a membership, but since I'm doing the video, I'm not taking one of those right now. A different day, I'll try to get on the green bike and shoot another video. Even though it said 93 degrees, it's not humid at all. It's a dry 93, and I'm walking mostly in the shade on this side of the street so far, so it feels actually way more comfortable than it was the past couple days in Cleveland. There's actually a nice breeze blowing too. I have to wonder if the 93 degrees thing is accurate too, because when I looked at the forecast earlier, I think it was supposed to only be about 85 degrees around this time of day. Maybe that thing is sitting in direct sunlight, so it draws a higher temperature. It's a long light. I think we'll get it after these cars turn. Right now, right? There we go. And then as we'll see across the street from Temple Square is the City Creek Center, which is a indoor-outdoor shopping mall that has a little creek running through it that's pretty nice looking. And from the past, at least, unless it's changed now because of the pandemic, that one has had a lot more occupancy. Like every place was filled with a business. So on the other side, before I get to that, here's another Salt Lake 2002 sign talking about the Olympic Arts Festival signature events. I'm assuming this place here is hosting events, like musical type events. And I know on the other side of this building, like if you went to the right on this block, that's where the Salt Palace Convention Center is. And that's where I had my conference for the HUG, Higher Education User Group, in 2018. So, not where that construction is in the background, but the smaller cylinder in front of it. That's kind of like one of the entranceways. But the convention center itself is big. You can't tell from down here. I'd have to walk like 2 blocks that way. All right, so I see the cranes high up in the sky above Temple Square, so I'm not sure if they'll be allowing access to people, but all we can do is try, right? So since I need to get over there, let's cross it, whichever one changes first. Over there you see Family Search. That's the Genealogy building. Actually, let me go down this way because there's an entrance around the other side. Maybe that'll give me a better access and way to go about it. But yeah, this is the Family Search building. I went inside there in 2019 and they brought me to a computer and helped me create an account. Unfortunately, I haven't ended up using it since then, but I do have the account and some knowledge on how to get started if I ever want to find more information about our family background. But even that building, even though it's not inside of Temple Square, it's considered part of Temple Square, and I think it's closed right now as well. Yeah, reopening July 6th. So, but it was nice inside. And then this one over here is a church history museum. I believe that one likewise is closed. Okay. Experience Temple Square. Well, since that entrance is open, I might as well try to cross over here. Yeah, there's definitely lots of construction going on. I believe that's one of the visitor centers on the left there. And there's fencing all over the place. You can see up ahead here, a bunch of fencing, barricading off, because usually this is a big, like the whole square is open and accessible. But these are major renovations that they're doing. Oh, so I think this is the only part we have access to. So I guess the square is pretty much shut off. Holy smokes. They dug up the whole the whole thing. Wow, now I'm gonna have to go back to my pictures and videos from the past and try to piece together exactly what this used to be. I think this was like just open area where you could walk around with nice trees and all those things. That tunnel over there, I thought I saw something online about that possibly being like an underground parking tunnel that they're building. There is that building in the background there, Latter-day Saints Conference Center. So that one I've never actually been in, but I believe it has a green roof, and that's the building that's supposed to be open. That just opened, I believe, last week. So that could be one of the buildings, or possibly the only building. I have no other choice that I explore during this trip. Let's see if anything else is open over here. Alright, well, they still have this building. Alright, so just to give you a snapshot, imagine that scene right there and how that looks pretty nice. Now imagine that multiplied times like 100, you know, where that big empty hole was, you know, and several other blocks, and that's how Temple Square looked in the past. And I'm sure it'll look like that again, but right now, under construction. This is probably one of the few buildings not under construction. This is Assembly Hall. Although the building is used mainly for conferences of LDS congregations located in Salt Lake, it is also available for various cultural and civic functions. Got a little monument up there. This used to be a water fountain. Right now it's turned off. Seagull monument, it says, erected in grateful remembrance of the mercy of God to the Mormon pioneers. And over here we have the hand cart Pioneer Monument, tribute to the thousands of hardy Mormon pioneers. Because they could not afford the larger ox-drawn wagons, they walked across the rugged plains in the 1850s, pulling and pushing all of their possessions in handmade all-wood hand carts. Now, for some perspective, that tall building in the background there, that's where I went to see the observation deck one time. I believe that's the administration building. So that area there, and there are many other smaller buildings over there. That area doesn't appear to be under major construction. But since we're here, let's pivot on over to City Creek Center. Oh yeah. Completely under construction. Okay. So City Creek Center is the shopping mall. I believe it's operated by the LDS. And I know it's closed on Sundays. There's a map for downtown Salt Lake City. Established in 1847. Yeah, but the fountains here are always nice with the trees. This is the outdoor part of the shopping experience. We got Blue Lemon over there. On the left, something called is it Desert Book? Can't see with the tree in the way. That path would lead you to the street, but across from the convention center I was talking about. We've got a chocolate factory over there. Uh-oh. Louis, there's a Louis Vuitton shop here. Let's see what bag they're featuring. Probably thousands of dollars. So they've got multiple fountains here. There's usually a nice fountain show. It does various different things. And it's multiple levels. Let's go up to the second level. And that way, when I'm up top, I can show the indoor part of both the second and first level. Lululemon over there. Michael Kors. That's the area I just came from. Okay, so now we're on the indoor part of the shopping center. Remember earlier I was saying it's City Creek Center. So down there, you've got the creek that is running and flowing through the whole downstairs part, and then when you go back outside, it also continues to flow. And like I was saying earlier, all these stores here are occupied. You've got the Apple store downstairs, J. Crew, H&M, the other side, Jill, Banana Republic. Anthropology. On the downstairs level, you've got Sephora. And it's air conditioned in here, so good way to get out of the heat.
It'd be amazing. It'll be so fun and they'll do a great job. I really will. It'll be amazing.
Alright, and then we have a pedestrian bridge that continues the mall. But it also, the bridge itself goes over one of the main streets. So for example, let's look on this side. You can see the Macy's outside. That train we saw earlier, it goes on that street initially and then eventually it turns onto this street here. And they do have bike lanes, although because it's not exactly a dedicated bike lane, is it? When there's a cars riding on it. Well, here's the other half of the indoor portion of the mall. Piper and Scoot, Journeys, Forever 21. We've got a Clark's. Downstairs, Active Living, and like I said, that creek continues. Morgan Jewelers, Vans, and there's the Macy's. It's a 2-floor Macy's. Or it's definitely a 2-floor Macy's. I'm not sure if there's a 3rd floor. It is pretty tall looking, so there could be a 3rd floor to that too. You can see there's fish in there too, in the actual water swimming around. Got all the Utah Jazz and other team jerseys. Now let's see if it's still here. In the past, there was a Disney store just to the right coming up here. Oh, yes, there it is, Disney store. Excuse me. Okay, so now we're back outside. We've got Cheesecake Factory downstairs with the valet parking. If you would have come outside from the first level, that's the downstairs portion of the plaza. I think they have the Go-Go game store over there, and I'm not sure if it's still here. There used to be a Microsoft store down there as well. And then the food court is on the lower level down there. Over here is Johnny Rockets. So when I was here in 2018, the first night I was here, this was the first place I ate at. I had, I think I had burger and fries. Sat inside about probably right there. I don't see the Microsoft store anymore, so that probably is gone. Got Neater's Bakery and Cafe. Another entrance to Macy's over there. So that creek that we kept seeing earlier, well, let me think about how to do this. So I'm going to go over there first and show the creek, and then I'm going to backtrack to where that food court was and follow the creek. So you can see I did, like, I don't know if you want to think of it like 2 blocks of walking in City Creek to get basically to the end of City Creek, and yet when I look across the street, I'm still at part of Temple Square. That's that administration building I was talking about earlier. Yeah, I can see now all the plants, all the pretty plants that were over there in the past too are gone right now. Hopefully they return someday. Okay. I don't know if you can see the... Yeah, you can't quite see the creek from here. So let's just start right here. This is pretty much where the water visibly starts a little bit. And then we'll follow it. I thought there was more water in this section in the past. Maybe it's just underneath the rocks. It's pretty neat. City Creek. Wetland. I wonder, are these turnable or no? Okay. So if you want, you could learn more about the canyon, putting the creek to work, rediscovering City Creek and the wetlands. Gives you a bunch of history. The creek that built a city. So now let's continue following that. Alright, we're getting ready to head to the downstairs portion. So you can see right there underneath that little walkway, there is water flowing. So now the water flows from there downward. And I'm assuming the direction it goes is eventually inside where we saw it earlier on the first level of the indoor portion of the mall. See what's in the food court. Got Subway, Raspberry, Sbarro. Ooh, Chick-fil-A. I tried to get that at the airport earlier, but it was at the Charlotte airport, but it was closed. And there's McDonald's down there. But it gives a pretty good perspective. I didn't want to cover every restaurant in the food court. I just wanted to show how, most malls have a food court. And this one, I actually like it how it's sectioned off and all the food places are all in one spot. Yeah, I think the Go store might not have, it either wasn't there before or the Microsoft store was there. And that's like the only vacant spot. So maybe that makes more sense that that was the Microsoft store. A nice sculpture here. Can't quite tell what it is. It almost looks like a bear and bird all meshed together with a bowl. Let's go ahead and show some of the inside part of the creek, since I was only showing it from the second level before. Oh, this is cute. City Creek Center waste bags. They got a little doggy statue on top of it. Thank you. So again, then the City Creek thing would continue across the street. Like I said, I'm going to shoot multiple videos of downtown Salt Lake City when I have a chance. But I think that was a good place to stop for this one, featuring the Vivint Smart Home Arena, a little bit of the Gateway, and what we could of Temple Square and City Creek Center. Now I'll probably head over and try to find or decide on what I want to eat for lunch. I ate breakfast at about 5 a.m. back in Cleveland. Just a sandwich that I had packed, and I did have 4 Bischoff cookies on the 2 connecting flights from American Airlines. And now it's, so imagine it was 5 a.m. my time, even though it's 1 p.m. Salt Lake time, it's normally 3 p.m. my time. So it's well past lunchtime, so I should grab something to eat. Yeah, that's where I'll end this video. Thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned for more to come.